Welcome to the Grand Design series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 24th of June 1923, which is roughly 18 months on from the end of the last video. And there's two reasons why we're this far on from the previous video. First one is that when you play early access, building a brand new town is a very slow process, especially when you're building the bigger buildings. I mean, if you watch the series at the beginning, you're aware how long it took in years just to get the services into our two starter towns. Well, this is a totally different proposition, especially with all the underground pipelines and various other bits and pieces. And the second reason we're starting 18 months on is that I did make a recording in, I think it was April 1922, and it came down to mainly micromanaging the vehicles that are breaking down, and also trying to sort out this farming sector here, which is kind of being a little bit of a problem. And that's a good segue into saying the reason why I've picked June 1923, because I think I've got a working system now. The downside is that I need to see if it's actually going to work, because one problem I have got is this road junction here. I need to fix this road junction. I did remove the monument and built a new one here in the hope that I could correct the junction, but I can't because of this footpath, and I don't want to remove the footpath. So I do have a scheme to be able to fix that, but I'll come back to that once we get going. Now, what I want to say is the main focus of this part is going to be fixing another problem that I've got developing. And this is going to involve even more long-term planning, because if I show you here, the junkyard has now got nearly 7,000 tons of mixed waste in it. And our landfill is filling up progressively as well. So it's only a matter of time before we actually start to this system starts to fall apart. And that's before we add three new towns, because we're planning on building a new town up here. We've got our two starter towns. We need to bring this town online so we've got access to oil, and we've got this new town here. So there's no way that this waste management system here is going to be able to deal with that. And I feel that I really do need now to start thinking about a long-term solution. Now, to give you a bit more of a detailed update related to what I was doing predominantly in the last part, and that is if I come over here, I know there's a problem here because I was checking it. I'll show you the way I check in a minute. Is one of, I think it's this steam heavy hull, 68%. Are you? Oh, great. You're over here. What are you doing over here? Okay, yeah, no, sorry. It's one of these. This guy is 68%, but I've got one of these is yeah, you're 63%. Where are you? Okay. You're actually doing something. Where are you actually going? Have you actually been to the fire station? You're way too far away. Okay, right. So we're going to disturb the process here. And this is the level of micromanagement I was doing in the last part. The other problem I've also got is that I've got way too many trucks. I'm going to send you here. And of course, what we're going to do is replace this one with we need a covered hole. Now, we don't need a massive big one. I think the actual Mack truck here, because the purpose of these covered holes in these repair stations is to provide a link to where we're actually doing the repairs. So we got that one there, and hopefully, so that's basically what I was doing most of the part. You can see we got, I don't know how many vehicles we've still got in here. We've got 18 vehicles at the moment who are being slowly torn apart. Now, what I have done is, and this is what I was actually doing, is I've now virtually upgraded all the covered holes in here to thing. I just want to see whether I've manufactured, because what I've been doing is churning out loads and loads of covered holes. I think I can get this one here. So I think we can pull you out, and what we'll do is bring you back to here, because some of these covered holes here aren't kind of worn out. They're just not fast enough for what I want to do with respect to the harvest. So I've been turning out lots and lots of these large covered holes, and the idea is that my crop movement distribution offices now are predominantly these new covered holes, but I feel I need a time for a change, and I just want to look at covered holes. Have I got a small covered hole? No, I don't. Okay, we don't have enough dollars to. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to buy a blueprint for some small covered holes. This is 100,000. You can see the price of the covered holes are going up. This can carry 2.5 tons of crops. Maybe that's not. No, maybe that is not something I want to do just at the moment. Okay, now the other thing I want to show you is that I've got my train out here laying track, but what I want to do is come here, and I want to get this guy out fixing these. The reason being is, if I show you these only need prefabs because this is the existing track, and I wanted, and still a little bit of a problem. We've got a tiny amount of steel in here. So where is my train gone? Where are you? Okay, you're on. Right. Just going to speed this up. So I don't think he's going to be able to do this for very long because he doesn't have a lot of steel. So let me just see. He's chunkering along. Yeah, he's only got 3.2 tons of steel, and this offers the. I don't know. He might build that out that way. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wait for him to do what he's doing, and then we're going to cancel the jobs and get him working on just laying the prefabs. Yep, so he's just run out now, so he didn't do very much. So what we're going to do is suspend those two jobs there for the moment, and let him focus on. Well, actually, we don't have a lot of prefabs either, but I was just going to let him do his thing, put it that way. So now it's time to move on to talking about waste management, because as I say, we do need to replace this whole complex. Now, I did consider going over here, but there's no rail connection, and if we're going to invest in some waste processing, we want it to have the possibility of scale. So we are going to go in pretty big. And the other thing also is, if I show you, we go to Incinerator, we're going to put a large incinerator, and it's going to take a lot to build, but it'd be worth it. You can see it produces 71 tons of pollution. This is by far the most polluting building in the game. I think it's even more polluting than a steel mill, I think, if I correct me. Steel mill only produces 39 tons. So the incinerators are pretty evil. I've had, oh no, it's okay. That should be, I've had a couple of close shaves with fires as well. So what we got to do, if we come down to here, and we got the edge of the town here. We're not going to come any further this way. And what I'm hoping is, I'd like to put it in this corner. Yeah, it's about, so if we put the incinerator out that way, and if we go back the other way over here, yeah, I mean, that's about 1.5 kilometers. So if we put the incinerator over here, it will only choke out the people working in this industry. Now, one option we can consider is an incinerator power plant, but the problem with this is that for this to be reliable, you've got to produce a lot of mixed waste. I mean, just to try and get enough waste in here, I mean, you're talking about, what's that, 60 tons per day. Now, we could try and work towards that, but what I'd rather do is just kind of process it over here. Now, to get out here, I've got to correct a bit of a mistake that I've made. We need to delete the section. Actually, Yeah, we're taking out a little bit further. Just make sure our demolition crew pick that up. Now comes a little bit of a technical problem, because obviously we've got thousands of tons of waste here, and until we got the railway going, we're going to be needing to bring the waste from here down into here, which means I don't want it to go through the town here. What I want it to do is come along this road here and into this road here, which means somehow we've got to get the road across this footpath. What I am going to do is, this is going to be our first venture into asphalt roads as well. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put another road just there. Now, what we got to do, actually that might be, oh no, we can come across under here. What I've also got to do now is, because if I show you the walking distance here, we can get to there. So what I'm hoping to do is, if I can put in a, we can put asphalt with lamps. I don't think we really need to go that far. We put that there. What I'm hoping is that, yeah, that's got a distance up to there. You can see the blue dots on this road here, but I could reinforce it by putting in some paved footpaths up across here as well. What I'm trying to do is get a connection to here, because I don't want to use buses to here. So what we're going to do is let this build through, and then the idea is that we will have a road running along here. In fact, I could probably put the road, part of the road in. Again, it's going to be asphalt. There's a little bit of a gamble here, because I don't think we're that far. Whoops. I don't think we're that far. I'm going to trim that back. I don't really want to do leveling. I think we can just scoot you there, around to there, into there. It'd be great if I could get a road off of here. Maybe off of here. Yep. Because what that would do is allow me to, that would provide a connection from here to here to here. So that would give us a road structure through there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is start working on, so I'm going to slow it down, because I want as much light time as possible here. Actually, I think what we're going to do is do work at this end first, because what we've got to do is, we've got the waste from this town, and of course eventually we will have the waste from this town, which will come down into here, and more importantly we've got another coal mine over here. We got ore processing, and hopefully, if things all work out quite well, we will have a steel mill here as well. That means we're going to get quite a lot of kind of general waste. But the other thing that we will get from the steel mill, or not the steel mill itself, but well, we could. But what we will get from the iron ore processing is metallic waste. I'm not sure if I can show you this here. If I show you the waste here, you can see that we're actually getting construction waste from the mines. Mines produce a lot of construction waste, and this is something that you really do need to think about when you're planning your waste management system, because you do need to really get an efficient waste management system. You do need to have a centralized management process, if that makes sense. And so what I'm thinking is, I think what we can do, we can put in a what we call it, we're going to need railway with claws, and I want to put this one in here like that, and ideally what I'd like is a cargo station here. I don't think we're actually going to need that much in the way of a connection. Put you there. I don't want this road built, so we're going to suspend that. And I need to make sure I can get a road out of here down to there. Or we could just come straight out like that, actually. Now, what this is going to be is what this is going to be is our dump for construction waste. And I think we're going to come here, run along the track for a little while, and then we're going to come in here. Now, these have got quite long actual platforms, so you can get away with this being a little bit short. But one thing I will say is don't make it too short, because, and we're going to come there. So that's going to give us our construction waste. Now the next one, I don't want to put it in as mixed waste because, and again, this is a very important decision that you do need to make when you are planning your waste system, is where is your sorting going to be and where it's beneficial. Now, like I've got over here with the actual here, we're actually sorting out the construction waste at source. And of course, the other thing that you need to consider is biological waste. I think probably eventually long term we'll have, because this is going to be our main farm here, we'll probably put a fertilizer plant somewhere up here. Let me just see. Composting plant just needs a tiny smidge of chemicals. So what we might do eventually is put in a composting plant up here, because this is going to be our primary source of there, although we don't seem to have a problem with fertilizer at the moment. Maybe that might be an option. Well, we'll think about that one. Composting, biological, making fertilizer is something that you can do with trucks, because the sheer amount that you're going to get is often quite low, especially from urban areas. Anyway, what we're going to do now is just going to come back to here. What I do want to put in is another railway here. We're going to push it up a little bit this way, like that. So there's a bit, maybe angle it a little bit towards the track. Now this is going to be mixed waste. Now, because we're going to be operating in this area, there's not much point beyond biological waste. I can't see the point of sorting out plastic and all that. We've got no oil industry. Oil industry, you can sort out the plastic waste. Yeah, we will get a small amount of metallic waste here, but personally, I don't think it's going to be worth building a separate transportation complex here to take the waste away. So I think we'll just deal with mixed waste here, and we're just going to put in. Actually, well, that'd be quite nice actually if we. Well, that'd be quite nice actually. We build that there. Probably get rid of this then. That would save our building costs a tiny amount. Just remove you. And what we can do is put a road connection in. I'm not connecting this up because I don't want it built just at the moment. So this would be our mixed waste pickup from this area. And again, we're just going to run a little bit in like that. Whoops. Nearly made a bad mistake there. Yeah. Always make sure your rail track is connected. And again, this is an end track, so we don't need to put anything elaborate in like a Y loop or anything like that. The only trains that are going to come down here are going to come into here, and we'll just accept that. So we've now got the ability to move construction waste and what we call it waste as well, mixed waste here, and eventually once this track is laid, we'll be able to move it up to there. In the short term, we'll probably have to stick with a kind of staged transport process. So in the short term, we'll probably keep these buildings, but we won't actually process them that much. So what we're going to be doing now is coming up through here. These guys are hanging around. I think if I've got spare capacity here. No. One thing I have noticed is that this maintenance tends to come in waves. Okay, we've got another truck. Where can I put you? I don't think I need any more trucks on here. We do really need to gravel in those roads there, because that loses the advantage of the truck. Let's just see here. Where are you? Okay, you're a little bit in the wrong place. You can see how bad this junction is. Okay, I think you guys are doing a fairly grand job. I think you're okay. I think maybe it's time to swap production. I think what we're going to do is move you over to open holes, because that's the next thing I need, is the carry capacity. What happened to the there it is. Trying to think. Actually, I think what I can. Now this is a covered hole. I'm trying to think where can I use that. Oh, I know one place where we might be able to move them. We can put you in here for the moment, and at the moment I'm just storing some covered holes in here. What this actually does is it's supplying to the crop drop here. Just see the Tudor barn here. I think what I might do is add the Tudor barn onto here as well. Set crops 80%. Because the problem is that the other one that's delivering here, which I think is over here, is sending stuff. Yeah, I think we'll remove you, because the problem is these trucks are going through this really awkward junction here, which comes down to the fix that I need to do here. I think the road's being, let me just make sure. Yeah, I think this is a footpath as well, so I need to remove that. We need to remove that, and then again I'm just going to go for an asphalt road here, and we'll come up through here. Trim you back a bit. Don't want it to impinge too much on the. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this will be the road for the crops coming from this area, and then what we're going to do is put a restriction on here. I think there's one that says no vehicles put on a trailer. There's one that actually says about no heavy goods. So what we'll do is restrict the heavy goods through here except for access. And what that will do is it will then mean that the crop trucks that are coming into here, will you be using this road round here. And as I say, the reason I'm going straight to asphalt is that this is going to be quite a key road sometime in the future. So I don't really want to kind of have to rebuild it again in the future. Actually, on that point, I need to keep checking here. No paver, no roller. There's got to be one coming fairly soon. Hopefully. You can see this place is coming together slowly. I am using actual asphalt pave things in here as well, so want to a workforce onto them. I think that those have been built. That's been built. Because I think, because without a roller, we've got to do these by manually. Anyway, over to here. This is where the fun bit starts now. Because we need to put in a small incinerator. Probably the small incinerator, it doesn't have many connections. And the difference in pollution is, you know, is nothing. The large incinerator's got more connections, and I want to kind of push it kind of out as far this way as possible, but not too far. And I would like to put it roughly in the center. I think if we can put it, okay, we're out of range of excavators, so we're gonna have to, oh, come on, game. You can do it. Okay, we're gonna have to put you there. Let's just make sure where the road is. The road comes out there. Now, what we need first is we're going to reverse this. Now, when you're planning a waste system, you've got to come up with a system where the, how can you put it? What goes into the incinerator is only burnable. Because if you can do that, what you can do is come here. We don't like that. What we do need is a couple of medium dumps on the back here. Like that. Put 2 medium dumps on the back like that. Now what these will be is our primary ash disposal. Eventually we will need to expand it and put more out here as well. But if you can get pure ash coming out of the incinerator going into here, the ash will decompose in its own process. So we've now got this here. Now if you look at the incinerator, the large incinerator can process 58 tons of mixed waste a year. Well, sorry, not a year, a day. What am I on about? Now the next thing we actually want is the general separation plant. Now the general separation plant, if it's got a full staff in it, and you can see it's a lot of staff, but we can ramp it up, can produce 50 tons of waste a day. What I want to do is put that in. You can put an intermediate store in between, but the problem is that the actual medium dumps, you could put a medium dump in here, but I personally prefer to actually just shove the separator directly into the here. But one thing we do need to do is make sure that the aggregate output is facing the right direction alongside the road. So we're going to put you in there. As we've already mentioned, what we're going to be doing is bringing in the mixed waste by train eventually. So plant machine, you see this will take 450 tons of waste. Now, oops, I don't want to do that. I don't want to clutter up those aggregate, because we're going to need them. And what I'm going to do is put you in about there, slightly facing the rail lines. We'll probably reduce it down there. And what we're going to do now is come in here and run alongside the track for a little while, and then there again we're just going to run alongside the track. I don't want anything too complicated here. So what we're going to have now is this here. This is going to be the input for mixed waste. So imagine that the train over there will be bringing down the mixed waste. Right, looks like we've actually removed this footpath. So it's going to put the asphalt road through. Like that. Actually, now I'm not going to extend it to that point, and then I think this is a gravel footpath because it's only really there for just check that node. Okay, We want the road crew on this to speed it up to see if the road crew will auto detect it. Yeah, because we need to re-establish this connection to the sewage outfall. This is going along quite well. Okay, so we got the road connection there. I just want to see how we're doing here. Right, we're going to need the one of these guys to. This is a little bit of a cause for concern. I am building a doctor's office over here as well. What I've found is that the moment these are pulling too many workforce, this is full up, so there's no point. I think what we'll do is we'll push the workforce out of here to try and free up some workforce for this area here. Now I have had a problem with population, and if you see here we got a population of 8,253, and what's been happening is that you can see here that at the moment we've got a problem here, and I've traced it down to, and again this is something that you do need to be aware of, is that, and you can see I've got 97% health, but if I come to here and we just click on that, what you find I've got in this area, because it's a little bit far away from the hospital, we've got poor health in this area, and that's the reason why I'm trying to build this doctor's surgery here, so that we can improve the health and improve the growth. The other thing also, while I'm talking about it, apologies, I'm kind of just pushing through the nuclear research, and the other thing I've been doing is actually increasing birth rate, because I'm just trying to get those birth rate spikes in, just to try and push up the population. But at the same time, because again we're going to need that surplus population to move into the new town as and when it's ready. Anyway, we're going to go back to the waste management now. So we got the separation plant, we got this in here, and of course we're going to have to put a road in. Now this one, I think for the moment we will just do it in gravel, just for, and I'm gonna just put the road through there, and what I'm going to do is push this road here and then put you there and trim you back to there. The reason I've done that is that eventually we may have to have a distribution office out here with more dumps, so I've kind of given myself the option here. So back to the separation. Actually, what we could do is just to make sure. No. I've made a mistake here. What we do need here is a cargo station here, simply because we're going to need to drop off the local mixed waste here as well. Yep. So we're going to have to kind of push the road out a little bit like that, around there, like that. Maybe connect you up like that. And then we're just snag out that. Okay, why won't you let me connect that two pieces? It could be the fact that this is an isolated piece of road, but we can do it that way. So what we've got here now is the ability to deliver by rail and ability to deliver by road, and the separation plant now. What the general separation plant does, I'm aware, and what the separation plant does is remove anything that's non-combustible. So you can't take out bio waste, and that consists of construction waste, metal scrap, aluminium, and plastic waste. This is where you've got to think very carefully about the way your waste system actually works. I'm just going to slow that down again because it's Actually, no, we'll just let it run, actually. I'm obviously going to bring in the construction waste. The question is, do we want to bring the construction waste into here by train? Because we got a, where is it? A gravel recycling plant here. This will take 90 tons of construction waste. The fun bit is this actually needs a conveyor. Now, this is where things can get a little bit iffy in using the polite term, because you can see that this doesn't actually have a rail connection. Also, with construction waste, you can also store, if I show you here, where's the, oh, thank you game, where's the conveyors? I show you the aggregate stores. Now, aggregate stores can store construction waste. What we've got to do is we need an unloading small, big, to cableway. Oh, that'd be nice. Is this loading or unloading? This is unloading. This is loading. We need an unloading store here. Well, that's way too big. I wouldn't mind something with dual tracks, but nothing too excessive. Because you never know how big. What is this? This. I think if we put you about, we can bring you in pretty tight to here, I think. What I'm thinking is that I don't want I want to use distribution offices. Now, the problem with the distribution offices is that they can get a little bit sensitive with respect to the trains picking up. Now, I don't want to come in on a claw dump. The reason I don't want to use a claw dump is the fact that if you use the rail claw dump, this has got factory connections which aren't really conducive to unloading aggregate stores. So what we want to do is actually, we can actually push this a little bit further. Actually, cancel that, push you a little bit further, bring you in like that. And this has got a dual track approach, so we can use that to our advantage. Make sure that's connected. And then what I can do is put a crossover there. Right, and just to run the scenario by you, we're over here, we've got a claw dump that will be storing construction waste. So therefore the distribution office is going to have to pick up a claw dump containing construction waste and drop off at a normal dump over here. And this is where waste can be very, very confusing, especially in your first play out. Sometimes it can defy logic. What I do want here is we've got this coming out this way now. I think what I will do is I'm going to put a road connection there, because we've got to come out over the road. Okay, I think we will change this road. It's always the hazard of putting roads in. Where put the road connection, snap, stick to gravel. I'll put you there to there. So what we're going to get now is, well, we'll just push this road through. Probably going to end up, actually I might as well make the connection now and come this far. So we've also going to have this is a gravel loading station, and we've got an aggregate store here which for some reason is being built. I've cancelled it. So what we can get is we can bring the construction waste into here and go out that way, but we're also going to get construction waste out of here, if this all makes sense, guys. So what we need here is another aggregate store. Wow. Aggregate stores everywhere. We don't, I think, oh, that's, it's nice, but it's very, very big. It doesn't take that much to build though. I think I could probably push this way. Okay. So we're going to bring the aggregate store into there. Although it's going to be very, very big. And then what we can do is take the gravel recycling plant. If I flip it that way. Yeah, it's not, I want the, oh, we can turn it round with the output. So we can put the gravel recycling plant there. Of course, this is going to be a full-size one, not the small one we used before. And then we've got this connection here, which is what we got connections, because we got the potential connection coming from there. We may want to pick up, well, we can pick up gravel from here, but we've also got gravel production from here. So we could kind of optimize the system by putting in, yeah, we could make it work. Trouble is if this one's running at full bore, it will fill this one up. No, I want this to keep processing. I don't want this backlogging up, and I want control. So I think what we will do is we'll put a small aggregate store here. Yeah, I think we can come there like that. And then what that would mean is we can I'll put a road in out that way. Let's put a road that way so I know where it's going. And then what we can do is actually I want multiples in and one out like that. Now this conveyor will move the goods between these two from here to here to keep this full. And then that, because I've used this conveyor, that opens up an opportunity to, when we got this working here, we can run a conveyor line back down to here, where we can then, how can you put it, where we can then supply extra gravel to there, so we can kind of run you to there. That. Now what we got here is we got this input here. This is the one that's going to take construction waste. Now comes the fun bit, because what we've got here, we want one to many. I think we're going to adjust this road again. Take this road out here and here. And then we're going to take this is getting very, very messy, but it's fun. We'll put a connection there. Now angle it slightly. No, we'll keep bringing it out square. Like that. This road will then connect to there. Just make sure you can connect to there, and you can connect to there. So what we've got coming out of the general separation is both of, just to show you, is the construction waste that comes out here, also the metal scrap, because the metal scrap is an aggregate store. So what we need to do now is come here. It's a one-to-many. That's high, that's no good. I think I'm going to use the, okay. See which one fits this. I think that's the better one. We can put you. No, that's multiple in. We want the multiple outs. So we can put the road out that way, because so that it doesn't obstruct the thingy bob. And then what we need is a link from there to there. We use the high conveyors here simply because this will allow us to bring a road out here. So what we've got now is we've got this system here. So what we've got is any construction waste coming out here will flow down and flow into here. And it means we won't need to use trucks. Now the next thing we actually need to do is, if we come to here, what we got is a steel recycling plant now. And what we can do is shove this just here, maybe shorten it up a little bit, like that. And then out of, and what this will do is, where is it? This takes 36 tons of scrap metal, steel metal, scrap metal, and it will produce 19 tons of steel. Now, to be honest, metal scrap, can be done, but it's not exactly going to be a major provider. So the role of this is going to be more providing steel for our truck maintenance and building maintenance. But what we will need to do now is put in, we're only going to need a small open store here. As I say, we're never going to get vast amounts from it. And not unless we start sending lots and lots of metallic scrap. And this is where you get to the point of, look, don't really like that. Now, well, this is really only for road service. We will need a fire station out here. This will come to there. And then I think what we got transfer station here, which will need to be connected to there. Just mark that as well. Oh, these are all, we don't want these. We want these as gravel. Can come there. We know that can go under there. And of course the other thing we're going to need to put in here is a cargo station. A 4 would do. It's not going to be that big. It's never going to be that busy. So we've now built our waste disposal system. It's fairly integrated. Hopefully it's going to work. Why don't I, oh, that's connecting to that. Right, so just to run through it in that relation to here, we got coal coming in this side, we got gravel coming in this side, coming into here. We've got this connection here, which will allow us to come out of there and connect up our gravel works here. So we've got a gravel distribution here, mainly for construction. There's absolutely no point exporting gravel for profit. It's just no money in it. What happens is if you start exporting large quantities of gravel, which you do need to do in order to make it viable, well, what happens is the price crashes. I really hate this. And the more I look at it, the more it annoys me. I think what we can do is trim that out. See if I can get this thing. Remove you. Take this road in square like that. Put that there. And then we're I can put you in. That's better. A lot better. Nice square junction there. Yeah, so we will get that in there. We got the ability to turn the metal scrap into steel, and then we got the separation plant there. We got our incinerator. Now, hazardous waste. We could put a hazardous waste processing plant in here. Now, we're not going to get vast quantities of hazardous waste. Now, if you want to know about this, where's the hazardous waste? This is what's called the waste treatment plant here. We could put this in at a later date once we've got everything sorted out. In fact, we could probably put it over here. It does produce a fair amount. Yeah, we could slot it in here. And the amount and what the waste treatment plant does is it takes hazardous waste, and all it does is remove the hazardous stuff. What it does then is it produces mixed waste, which is the equivalent of what we've done. So it doesn't really need to be fully integrated into this system. And to be honest, I still like the burning pits, but what we'll probably eventually because we got so many towns, we might put a hazardous waste plant in here with the necessary bits and pieces to be able to bring it together. But I think we'll work on that long term. I don't think we actually need it to be done close in. So what I'll do is just go through. We've got a full load there. It's not flowing there. Have we produced any more? Right, while I've been talking, we've got another covered hole which we could use. I think I'm just going to push it in here because we've only got the 4 slots. Got a covered hole. You can come to there. I thought I was... Yeah, we got tractor trailers now. Oh, can't use you. Shove you in there. So we've only got 4 output slots. So we've got a tractor trailer. Now, these tractor trailers... I've already replaced them. I think what I would like to do, let me just see. I've been kind of sending them up to here. Yeah, I think we'll put you into... Where are you? Actually, I think what we will do is we'll put you in up over here. Quick look. Yeah, I don't think we got that many tractor trailers here. And I'm actually, what I'm doing is pulling the workforce from here as well, which isn't advantageous. Just to show you, we're now on the 1st of October, and if I do the overlay, what happened last year is a lot of these fields here were not actually, how can you put it? A lot of these fields here were not being emptied as the harvest was being done, and what I had to do was a bit of manual adjustment to be able to do it. Don't think these guys are really pulling in the crops. I think what's happening is these are probably a bit more target fixated on over here. Let me just do a quick spot check. Where are you? Yeah. They're coming mainly over to here. Doesn't make sense. I think these guys are being a bit silly, aren't they? Okay. I thought you are picking up from here. Yeah, you should be picking up from here. I think I mean, how many tons of crops have we got in here? Got 4,000 tons of crops in here. We don't I don't think so. It's not 100%, still not fully doing it. I think what we'll do is remove that. I think we're going to have to move the crops from here with a separate distribution office. They're getting too bogged down and they're actually causing too much traffic congestion here. I mean, I think our little kind of thingy bob here, yeah, I think that will work. And just to give you a quick look at the state of the we got a steam hauler here, which is 72%. Where are you going? This guy is scrap. He's actually going to the customs shed. So this is a good possible replacement for the next tractor trailer that comes in. We'll have to replace this. He's over here. Let's see what we got here. And we're basically exporting logs at the moment. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.